One of the first things you did in January of 2011 was introduce a tort reform bill that made state inspection reports of nursing homes inadmissible as evidence in civil and criminal proceedings. Some critics, we were doing a story about this, and we're talking to people who say that this evidence is key to correcting negligence and prosecuting criminals, and that the law that was passed protects businesses at the expense of our most vulnerable residents. How do you respond to that?
Well, there's two different, and a number of these factors, there's differences between civil actions, which often, I believe, go overboard, versus prosecution and upholding not only standards but statutes and administrative code. Those are things that are requirements either of state agencies in some cases in terms of some of the regulations. They're things that are ultimately, when there's a criminal issue involved, or the responsibility of the district attorney's office in a given jurisdiction, or ultimately the attorney general's office. Those things are not blocked from doing that in terms of upholding the regulations, upholding the statutes, and upholding the law if those things have been violated. There is a difference, though, in terms of any of the tort reform, lawsuit reform issues we dealt with in the past, and those deal with civil issues.
Okay. You said in introducing the bill it was aimed at one thing, jobs. How does having this change in law on what is admissible in civil and criminal proceedings create jobs?
Overall, in terms of not just that particular issue, but the whole abundance of things that we looked at, which were about 8 years worth of lawsuit abuse, proposals, pieces of legislation that came up, overall changing the climate so that in our state the law is upheld within the regulatory environment, the law is upheld within the district attorney's offices and elsewhere, but it's not something where you've got this constant pattern of litigation in any area that deals with employers. That's something that employers look at. That's something that's mentioned by employers both here and elsewhere around the country, that the states they want to do business in is where it's a streamlined process, where it's an easy process, where they know what the rules are, and they don't change when it comes to regulation. The same thing comes true when it comes to civil litigation. Being bogged down, in some cases legitimately, but many cases by frivolous lawsuits, is a huge barrier to economic growth and development.
Okay.